I had responsible. I felt like I had responsible for to tell you what have happened today. I told you that I should do that. What I heard from heaven to do when I took a nap, and for 2 days ago, and it doesn't. Most of the time, it never turned out as I think it should be, because what they see from afterlife is different from our perspective, how we see our world where we stand on, and what we have experienced. But they know the past, and they know the future, and they can see the whole world from where they are. So when they talk to us, it can be most of the time is it different from what we are thinking, and it turned out to be in that way also. I have not told you what they say to me in my nap, but they say that I should go to the office for the cricket team office, and I was thinking I go knock on the door and walk in there, and then haven't told me that I should talk about those white balls. What the white balls are is that when I was at the cricket field in my area, there was a woman coming to me and sit down because her dog ran away, because the dog was scared. I have talk about this, but the woman, the dog be scared of the balloons. It was those balloons where you fly with, and it was that have this basket under a balloon, and it was 2 balloons, and one of the balloons, a yellow one, I thought it should crash to the ground. It flying so very low, so it's touched the tree's top. So of course the dog be scared, because they start to fire up in the basket to make air, so the balloon should lift up higher up. So they burn very much, because they saw that they were going on the ground, a crash where they should not go down. So it was a very big sound of it, and the dog ran away from, and the woman called for the dog, but the dog it was gone. So she sit down with me on a bench with table, and she start to talk, and she said to me that the dog maybe have running home. So she was not so scared about it, because she thought the dog ran home. And so we sit and talk, and that woman, she was talking about that they had those cricket player. She was there every day with her dog, and she said they have balls they play with. It's a kind of heavy balls, and those jongleurs, those that have those balls to go up in air and catch them. Many of these balls, they are not ordinary balls. It's a little heavy in your hand, and that's what they are playing with. And there is some kind of different balls they use. And she say that the ball they compete with in serious competing, they are very expensive, those balls, she say, and they have told me, she say, that they have to order it from abroad. It doesn't go to buy here in Sweden, or it's in a central store in Sweden. They can buy it, but it's nothing that you can buy here in my city. And she told me that it was a man that sometimes they don't find the balls because it's very much tree and bushes around the field, and so she told me that it was a man that picked them up, and then he was selling them to the team, and we both thought it was wrong to do that because that was not ordinary balls. So, and they have lost the balls and then they have to buy it back. That's not that both she and me was not happy for that he did that. And so she was talking about that. And then in it's Thursday today, and it maybe was Sunday was it, I met her, and she started to talk about the white balls again that they were playing with, and I were wondering how much they cost. So I went home to look for the balls, but there was about 10 different white balls, so I didn't know what kind they play with, because this team that I look at, they have become Sweden's best cricket team just now, and so I understood that it's something with the white balls that those in afterlife want to tell me about. And then I got this nap, and they say that to me, that I should go to the cricket office and then tell this person that I should support the team. And you know, I don't have so much money, but to do this, to get this man, I need to maybe do something like paying money to things to show them, like trick them a little about it, so they don't maybe not like it, that they think I'm a Christian and he is Muslim, and they don't want us to be together. So I need to have some other subject, some other things to tell them. So that was showing me that I should talk about the white balls when I come into their office. And I look at the weather map. I couldn't do it the same day that they were telling me because it was bad weather. And I decided me when I saw the weather channel that today should it be a good day. And it was, because it was like the almost the most warm weather in the whole summer did we have today, but it was not so very warm because it was very much hard wind coming from the south, from Europe, the rest of Europe. It was wind coming up from Central Europe here, but it go with the wind, so that it was not so very hot. If it had been no wind, it had been very hot today. So it was excellent day to drive with my scooter to that office. I didn't know if they really have an office, but I saw that on our map on our city that they had two places in my city where they were. And one was this field that we have in our area, but there is no house to walk in and sit down in. So that was not their clubhouse here in this area, but they have that field where everything is okay to play games on. But they didn't. They have one container, a big container that you can go walk into, but it's not a real house. But they store there some of their. They have umbrellas when it's very warm to get shadow in, and some other things. I don't look into it, so I don't know what they have there. But it's not a real clubhouse. So on another bigger field where there is soccer playing and other sports going on, and I didn't know really what it was. So today was it the first time I go to that field, and I had hard to find the opening to go into that field, and there should it be some houses where their office for the cricket should be. And so I find it at last. It was not a good way to drive there with my scooter. I have to go out in the traffic and drive there to come to this opening of the field, because it was locked in as they play games there, soccer games, and they sell tickets, so you can't go in there. It was only one opening on it. So I went I drove into to the field, and I was happy that I could do that instead to have to parking the scooter outside and then walk into the fence that was around the field. And then I tried to see the Swedish people. They have signs where they are, but it was about 5-6 houses there, and there was no signs of cricket. And I didn't see any cricket player either. But it was one house was open, the door stood open, so I have to take water because the glass I have with my water, it come fly into it and lay in there in the water. So I don't want to drink that water. So I have to open a bottle to take a little water. So I went in. It was a house for those that working on the field that cut the grass and do other cleanings and repairing things. It was three men in that house. So I went in there and I asked, where is it? Where is the place where cricket players are playing? I asked them, and they say that they don't know where they were. And it's strange to be Swedish people that say that, but it's because they hide there. And they say, one man I have working here he say about 20 years, and he say, I saw them in 2021. I met them once, and then I have not seen them since then. He say, they are not here, and we are upset. He say to me that because they occupy 2 fields where we could have other sports on, instead to let them be empty there. But they have 2 fields there where they never come and playing cricket or training or nothing, and they don't show up. And I start to laugh. I laugh very much because I say to them, I start to understand how it is to live in India by the way they do it here also. Yeah, and they say they can't speak Swedish. They live here, but they can't speak Swedish. They can hardly speaking English, and you say, and they maybe have lived here most their life. I know some of them are manager for. I know one manager for some companies, and I know 2-3 are manager for some areas in IKEA. You know, the Swedish furniture big store that is all over the world, IKEA, and they are manager. But as we can speak good English here in Sweden, they don't bother to learn Swedish. So it's hard for those that can't speak so much English here. Older people, I am the first generation that got English as subject in school. And in my time, we learn English only 3 years in the school. And those people that is over 70 years old, they can't speak English if they have not working abroad and needed to learn English. But they don't understand English a little, some few words. So of course they be angry when it's coming young people from India, and they can't learn one word Swedish, but they live in Sweden, they work in Sweden, they have got kids that is Swedish citizen because they are born here, and older people can't talk to them, and they can't talk to us. So of course it's be irritation, and then this India things, I start to understand some of it. It's not only them, because I had a boyfriend from India before I knew God. I had what is called when a woman have a sidekick. I had a sidekick in my marriage. My marriage was so bad. So I had a man living in Los Angeles. When I live in Texas, I have a man in Los Angeles from India that I live together with sometimes. So I knew a little about how he was talking about India, his area. He was born in Kanak in India, and then when he was working for IBM computer, and he wrote those first books in computer equipment to learn computer. He was working one of the manager for IBM. He was very, very wealthy. And then when he retired from IBM, he moved back to India and have those information desk. He don't work on his own, but he took with him all those connection he had in IBM, his IBM work, and took them with him to India, where he started information desk that we can hear sometimes when we ask for answer about something, and not only computer, other things we want to know. So I am not. I start to learn, and also just now is it very much on my on Facebook, on those from TikTok, from street food in India, and learn very much about what's going on the lowest in India. that it can happen that it's not so important with to be clean and to have plastic gloves on when you touch food or something like that. Um, so I, I laughed today because it was so fun when we talk about it's not it's so very opposite of Swedish people. We Swedish people is like German people. We are very very clean and not coming late to meeting. Uh, we prefer some minutes before a meeting that you are coming, and I can understand how it is in India in many places. I don't say all the places, but it's very often that it's a chaos. It's no structures of what they are doing. Um, so I understand that, and I I have tried. I try to hold into this what the spirit was telling me, that I should tell them that I support them with money to buy those white balls. I understood that they had showing me with this woman. I didn't understood it first, but when I took a nap, they were talking about those white balls. So I understood that I am not going to say that I'm looking for a man like that. Instead, I should say, I want. I have heard from heaven that I should support you with money. I should say, even if I don't have so much money, but maybe I get from heaven some money to support them with. I don't know, or else I should only say that to hide what my real thing are, that I'm there for to find this man, and in that way coming closer to him. So I was my dream was to come to the office today, and I should sit there and talk about supporting money and knowing what balls I should buy, because I should tell them that I don't want to give them money. Instead, do I want to buy them those balls on my own, so I can have control over the money. And but I never found them today, and but it come many answer anyway. That there is, I decide me to. I must drink water again. I decide me to go home and write, uh, to look at the team and then find their names and then their email address and then write to them. And I was thinking I should take and write to the, it's called captain for the team, the leader, the responsible for the team. And it doesn't work because they have different websites with the team, and then when I come to one, website it says those people in the team, and then when I come to another page, it was some other names on the same teams, and they about 1/3 of the team had a picture of them, so that it was avart. It was no picture of them, so I couldn't see who the name of that special person that I should write to. And then I look at their profile, and then they didn't had any email address, no contact. And I check out the team leader that should be the contact to the team. And I check up it was his telephone number. So I check up the telephone number, but it didn't say anything. It was a mobile telephone number, so it doesn't show up any information who it was that had that telephone number. It's a real chaos. I know that in some other countries it is like that. You say, I know in Los Angeles, for example, there you say, we go and meet each other in 5 minutes, like that, you say. And then they come 2 hours after what you have say. This is common on the west coast of the United States. And there is a different, even in a country like United States, is in some places you can take off your shoes inside in the home, but in some, like when I visit a friend of my mother's daughter in Philadelphia, in United States. We couldn't take off the shoes at all, and it was winter time, and we had to go with those heavy, warm shoes on, boots on, in their home. And my daughter was with me, and she be so angry at them, and so suddenly she kick off her shoes. I don't care, she say, of course, in Swedish, so they didn't heard what she's saying. I don't care what they are saying. It's too hot for my feet, she say, and kick out the shoes. And those in the families, there are small children, they be very frightened because they have never seen feet in their home. It was always shoes on. So it is different, and it doesn't need to be different between countries and countries. It can be inside a country also. So I look at it. I have got those 3 dots. I wonder if it have with this I did today, that it was. It's not good that they hide like they do for me, because it's so important for me to get in contact with him. It's not about be married and have children. I can't have any children. Uh, it's not about sex. It's about spirit things. But people don't understand that. And I truly believe that he looking for me, but he don't know my name, and he maybe not. He maybe don't live on this side of the city. It's 125,000 people, so it's not easy to walk into each other. And as I don't think he have a car either, so he need to go with other people, and that is very bad when you are not independent, when you have to wait for other to say yes on about things. Today I was thinking, today it was a very beautiful weather, and I was thinking they have to play with the schedule it is for the cricket, but they could at least do some training today when it's beautiful weather. But those men I was talking to that clean this field, they say that the season maybe is over, so they are not coming more to this field this year. And then it come in a man into that office, and he seems like he had a little more in order. So he say, I will check out the schedule for this sport arena and see what's going on. And he say that, and that was special for me, because he say that they are going to have training this afternoon. He say to me at 4 o'clock. He say, and now I was there at 1 o'clock. So I say I go home and take a nap, and then I come back to 4 o'clock. I say to them, I was very happy to know when that should have the training, and then he gave me an one bananas, because he took one bananas, and then he gave me one bananas. That is what we have here in Sweden. Companies have like they subscription. They rent a basket to get a full basket full of fruit every Friday. So he gave me one of the bananas they had. So he was a little more knowing what they were doing in that office. And so I say I'm coming back, but they were not there after 3 o'clock. So I went back to that field about 3:30 in the afternoon, and it was full sunshine, and I was sitting and waiting for them, and then I heard they were talking English behind me where I sat, and I look around and drove to that where they're speaking English. But then I saw it, they start to have built up an arena for rock music. They should have rock music concert on Saturday or Friday evening, tomorrow evening. So they were building up, and then I was thinking, no, they are not going to do any training where they are building this for rock music concert. So I was thinking it's so beautiful weather, so I have to drive to our field in near close to me, and I was thinking it's only 4 o'clock, so they have been maybe working, so they are not coming before close to 5 o'clock. So I had time to drive there and see if they were there, but no one was on the field. So they were not doing any training unless I think it's called Yantis, those that clean. They say the season was over. And for me, as Swedish and have been into sport, I think September is very short season to do the sport. At least September, October is it, and at least it should be start to be cold weather, but it's not cold weather yet. It's up in the north of Sweden have it start to snowing. It's early this year, so we will see what's happened. It's maybe be very strange weather in winter time also. They have up to the knees in the north of Sweden, but I'm thankful I live in the very south of Sweden, so it's summer still here. So it is very strange, these things. And now I am not going to look for him anymore. And I have not found any contact on the internet. I have tried to fill in some contact forms for crickets, the cricket team, this in my city that I'm looking for, but it doesn't work. They have so very bad web design, and I am thinking that this is one thing I can help them with, to do greater web pages, but I think they don't want to be seen. It should not be bad, because those from India they are not hunted. I understand this man that I looking for, because he is from Afghanistan, so he maybe need to hide. And I think he is not in that way that he only want to speak English. He want to learn Swedish. So I think he is have not been in Sweden for so long time. So it may be sensitive with him. I don't know him, so I can't judge him in any ways, because he say he was going over three waters to come here to Europe, and he had nothing with him. So he have not started to build up his life yet. So it can be that's why he maybe not have any computer things. He don't know how to find me in that way. But my last name, I am the only one that have that last name in Sweden, so that is easy to find me in that way. It's only to place my last name and then Sweden, and then people find me. So if I should be worried about to be killed, I should hide my name, but I am not frightened. I know people can find me very, very easy. But I'm not frightened because it's in God's will if I should live or not live. It's not me that have that control. And it's the same thing with this man to do. I know that he is the right one to get help from in the spirit way. But he don't know me yet so much. I think he understand a little because I change him. When I lay hand on him, he become changed. He be healed. So he know it's something with me, but he don't know how much it is, how much close he and I am in what we have in life experience. Because I have been close to be killed also many times, like him. I have to run, and if it's so that it have been harder here in Sweden now when we have this Nazi party it's sometimes second biggest party, something the third, but they make those other parties to be more discrimination and hunt people from other countries. So it can be that it's sensitive that he maybe be kicked out from Sweden only because he's from Afghanistan. And so he maybe needs to hide, and so it's become harder. And I still work on what the Spirit was telling me, that I should say to them about those balls, that I wanted to support them. And then I had money with me today if I should need to show them that I wanted to support them with money. But it be a little like they were telling me in the nap, but it be not. I know, I'm guilty. I know that it was in my will, and I need to still wait and hope it doesn't take so long time for him to find me or I find him, because the time's slipping away. So it's not done yet. It's not the end of it. It's only that it's in another way to do it. But they have given me this, that I should say, I want to support your team, and that I want to buy those balls for the team. I don't think it's so very expensive compared to what I have in money, like that, even if it's tough just now with the money. Today they told us at the news that it should be harder with the money here in Sweden. And I hope they can help to raise more the retirement money. But they only go for that they are going to lower the tax for the retired people. But me, that have the lowest retirement, I have very low tax because I don't have so much money. It's those that is wealthy retired people that is the winner. They get more reduced tax. But for me, I don't have much tax. It's very, very little because I don't get so much money. So it's unfair. But those that sit and decide this about money, they are very wealthy people, and they don't understand how it look like in the lowest places. That we have so little money, so we don't have so much tax to pay. So, but I manage it anyway, and I know that you do whatever you can to support me, and you have hard with the money also. The whole world have hard with the economy, and it's unfair, and it is corruption. Those that is wealthy, they get more money, and the gap between wealthy and poor people be bigger and bigger and wider. I have seen those reels on Facebook about those streets in Philadelphia, street in Los Angeles, where they are laying there full of drugs and filthy streets. And so it is very different from when I was homeless. It was not so much drugs, people was only homeless. And most of it, when I ask them, why are you homeless? They say that we want to be homeless. We have hard to stay in a home. And they are fighting with their parents, and they are fighting with their siblings. So they prefer to lay in a homeless shelter, they told me. And some of it is true. And of course I know that some is lie because they do drugs. But the drugs addiction didn't look the same as it does today. For 20 years ago, it's 20 years ago when I was homeless, and it was not filthy on the streets. It was not druggies, people that was going around and like they don't know where they were, spinning around on the street like that. It was no one like that for 20 years ago. So it have been very, very more darkness. The evil have taken over this world too much. And it's time. We are in the end of time. So it needs to be done. So I am like kind of desperate that, and I ask myself, why didn't I stop and wait for him when I saw him doing the cricket camp at home in my area? But I thought it should be more games played there so I could meet him again. But that was the last game in that area. But I say to myself, I should not be angry at myself, because it was done from afterlife that I should drive away, and then I get it's hole in my wheel on my scooter, so I couldn't drive out for some days. And it was done in that way. So they need to do something else now, so we can meet each other in some way. I don't know what. And I should not. And they know that. I should not be the one that hunt him. It's time for a man to hunt me. It have never been like that. It's me that have opened doors for men. But the man must come and get me. Not me. I am not a man. I should not hunt a man hunting a man. It should be a man hunting a woman. So, you see, I have to wait. I have to calm down and only wait and understand that I don't have any control. I don't have any control. I gave away myself to God in year 2000. And I, of course, gave my life away to God when I said to God that I wanted to come down to earth one more time to do a better job than I have done in my other lives. So it's myself to blame and not other things. And knowing that I don't have the control. I can't create my life as I want it to be. But that have been a failure to think I can control life. I can't. And I can't live other people's life either. So it's only to be here and now and wait to hear more what I should do, or see something coming up in my way that I should do something about. I don't have this control. So that was what have going on today, and I be frustrated that I didn't get the result that I was hoping it should be. But when it calmed down, I understand it. I understand it because I don't have the control. So that I can only wait and hold my ears and eyes open. And most of all, I need to remember that this war is not my war. The war is between spirits. It's nothing here on earth we can do. If the spirit wanted me to be with him, I should not have drive away from the field. But I was confused, and I be frightened because my heart was going so fast. When he looked at me, I thought I should die. I thought I should faint and die. So I have to drive away to calm down, and then I have not seen him again. But it's a day and afterlife that I have to do something if they want me to help them to success here. We'll see. We have to wait. It's not over yet. I sit here and recording, so it's not over yet. Thank you for listening, and God bless you.